Okay, as we mentioned before, these are examples for the capital offenses according to the Palestinian penal code and the other comparative codes. That any person commit any kind of these acts will be punished by the capital punishment or the death penalty. Actually, according to the Palestinian criminal ordinances of 1936 that is applied in the Gaza Strip, and also 1960 that is applied in the West Bank, death penalty is set for 15 certain crimes or felonies or capital felonies according to the wording that is adopted by both ordinances. Also, according to the revisionally penal codes of the Palestinian Liberation Organization, this capital punishment is set for 14 or 45 crimes according to such penal code. Also, according to the Palestinian Penal Code, these capital punishments or these verdicts or judgments are executed in two main ways: either by hanging, and this is for civil persons or for civilians, and by shooting, and this also this actually applies to comrades or to the military or the officers that belong to the military. So these are the main ways by which we can execute the convicted persons. Capital punishment between abolishing and leaving. To leave the capital punishment as it is within the penal code, I mean not to abolish such punishment, or to abolish it. So actually we can say that jurists of international criminal law and also jurists of criminal law, the national criminal law, were separated into two big classes and two big groups. Some of them were in favor of abolishing the capital punishment from the penal codes, whether they are national ones or even at the international level. And some of these jurists of international law and the national law were in favor of leaving such capital punishment as it is in the penal codes, and there is no need to reject it or even to abolish or revoke such punishment from the penal code. But why do they believe in such opinions, and why do they say that capital punishment shall exist within the penal code, and why others believe that the capital punishment should be erased and abolished from the penal codes? Let me here just give a quick shot on the ideas or the supportive ideas of those people who abolish who need the abolishing of such penalty, or who supports the abolishing of such penalty. Number one, they say that it is inhuman punishment that contradict the main goal of the punishment, which is the rehabilitating and integrating the convicted person. ما بيقولوا إنه بما معناه هذه العقوبة أول شيء humiliating to the human being، هي مهينة للإنسان. Also it violates the main goal of the punishment، بتتعارض مع الهدف الرئيسي من العقوبة. هدف العقوبة الرئيسية إنه to rehabilitate someone، إنه نعيد تأهيل شخص معين، and to reintegrate him in the society، to remerge him in the society، أعيد دمجه في المجتمع. فإذا كان أنا أعدمت شخص معين، then there will be no way to rehabilitation or even to reintegrating this person to the society. So this is the first reason. The second supportive idea is that the death penalty cannot undone if it is executed. إذا نفذنا حكم إعدام, then we discovered that the person we executed was an innocent person, then in this case the death penalty cannot be undone. كيف بدنا نتراجع عن تنفيذ حكم إعدام بعد ما نكون قد نفذناه, because the person is already died. So in this case no one could bring him or her back to life. So in this case it's kind of unjust punishment for the convicted person or executed person. Number 3, this penalty has no special deterrence. هذه العقوبة بتحققش الردع الخاص, لأنه الردع الخاص معناته إنه الشخص يتعلم, يعني it means he will get lessons from his punishment, so he will not repeat it. But if we execute someone, then there will be no special deterrence. Also, there is no ineffective general. There is no effective general deterrence. ما فيش ردع عام كافي. بمعنى إنه general deterrence is ineffective simply because the statistics of a lot of countries around the world, they show that crimes rates did not change in states that still keeps the death penalty. So these are the main ideas that the jurists of international law or the national law they depend on in fighting against the capital punishment as one of the inhuman punishments in their view. Now we'll move to the other side. The other side who say that we have to activate such penalty within the penal codes. But what are the main reasons that they adopt such ideas? Number 1, death penalty is fair punishment for the malice crimes such as first degree murder. هم بيقولوا انه افضل عقوبة لشخص كان عنده جرائم خبيثة من هذا النوع هي اني انا اعاقبه بالاعدام. Number 2, all the punishments cannot be undone once it's implemented, and nothing can bring back the time to the defendant spent in the jail or prison. شخص was convicted, when a person is convicted with lifelong imprisonment, then after that we discovered that he is innocent, so we released him. Okay, but the time that he spent in the jail, who could bring it back to this person? No one. So not only capital punishment cannot be done, but also all kinds of punishments cannot be undone. Moreover, there are many guarantees to prove the guilt beyond reasonable doubt. So this is why they support such ideas. Number 3, why to activate such penalty? Death penalty achieve deterrence and a solution for criminal type convicted person. بتحقق نوع من الردع العام خصوصا عند الناس اللي بتسوق لهم أنفسهم إنه يرتكبوا نفس النوع من الجرائم, وخصوصا للناس اللي بيشابهوا الشخص المجرم في نفس النوع من الجرائم اللي بيرتكبوها. Death penalty prevent vendetta by the victim's relative against the convicted person and his or her family. لو أنا if I did not execute the person for committing a first degree murder, then this will give the opportunity to the family of this victim to take revenge from that person, I mean the criminal. So when we execute this person, I mean the criminal, then in this case we will not give the opportunity to his family to take revenge or to make the vendetta أو الثأر أو إحنا نسميه avenge أو reprisals, عمل انتقام. So vendetta here is acts of revenge or avenge or reprisals. Reprisal معناتها عمل انتقام. Avenge and revenge معناتهم الانتقام. Vendetta هي الثأر. However, if we adopt the capital punishment as the greatest punishment, according to the Palestinian law, for example, we have to respect some guarantees for the death penalty. These guarantees are adopted within the Palestinian code and every code that still keeps the punishment of the death penalty. The death penalty is the most serious sentence, the greatest sentence ever. Thus, the legislator in many countries set many guarantees to minimize the risk of a false judgment.